So let me get this straight. A millionaire rock star who lives in Seattle just dropped an F bomb filled video calling ICE agents masked thugs and monsters. And naturally, he filmed it from his nice neighborhood. Oh, on his birthday, too. So today we're breaking down the public statements from Dave Matthews Band frontman Dave Matthews about the Minneapolis ICE shooting and the numbers that completely contradict his entire narrative. Because here's the thing about celebrity activism. It's a lot easier to virtue signal from your mansion than it is to deal with the reality on the ground. So let's talk about what's really happening. On Friday, Dave Matthews, again, the guy from the Dave Matthews Band, he posted a long form video on Instagram. It's his birthday and he's walking through Seattle, and he decides to spend the majority of this time on this video trashing Donald Trump and the ICE enforcement in Minneapolis. So according to multiple news reports and Billboard as well, Dave Matthews says, and I quote, "I don't want my taxes to pay for ICE, to masked thugs who roam the streets and terrorize our communities and rip families apart." He's talking about Renee Good, the 37-year-old woman who was shot in Minneapolis during an ICE operation. And Matthews calls it, and these again are his words, murdered in cold blood. Then he names names: Trump, Kristi Noem, Stephen Miller, Pete Hegseth, Kash Patel, Pam Bondi. He calls them deeply dishonest, cowardly, shameful. And then he drops all these F-bombs. These are his words, not mine. Oh, and of course, because this is how it always goes, he says he'd be more than happy to pay more taxes, but only if they go towards bridges and school lunches and housing the homeless. Not, enforcing immigration law. That would just be crazy. And here's where it gets interesting. What Dave didn't tell you, and what he forgot to mention in his 6-minute birthday rant, that according to the Department of Homeland Security, and these are official statistics that they just released, assaults against ICE officers are up more than 1,300%. Vehicular attacks up 3,200%. And death threats against federal agents, well, those are up 8,000%. So let me repeat that. DHS shows that from January to December 2025, there were 275 assaults against ICE officers compared to only 19 during the same period in 24. According to federal reports, ICE officers experienced 66 vehicular attacks in 25 compared to just 2 the previous year. Well, what's important to note is that these aren't just numbers. According to DHS records, somebody who does really bad things to children, I'll say it that way so that YouTube allows this video to go up, he entered the country illegally and hammered an ICE officer in the face with a metal coffee cup, 13 stitches. A group of at least 10 people opened fire on ICE officers in the Prairie Land Detention Center, and according to federal authorities, a sniper fired at a Dallas ICE facility, killing 2 detainees and injuring a third. So you know what's not mentioned in the Matthews video? The fact that Renee Good was part of what federal sources call ICE Watch. This, again, according to multiple news reports, this group monitors and tracks and interferes with federal immigration enforcement operations. They do this intentionally. So she was not just some innocent bystander. In the video that everybody's seen, according to that footage, Good told the agent, "It's fine, dude, I'm not mad at you." And then she turned the wheels and accelerated towards him. The agent, Jonathan Ross, he was hit. He went to the hospital. But in Dave Matthews' world, the agent walked away with just a hop in his step. Oh, wait. That was exactly what Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey said. So here's what really gets me. The very next day, literally 24 hours after the Minneapolis incident, 2 people in Portland got shot by a Border Patrol agent. And according to DHS, they were Venezuelan nationals with alleged ties to Tren de Aragua, that gang who tried to overrun the agent with their vehicle. That's one of the most notorious narco-trafficking gangs in the world. But I'm sure that's just a coincidence, right? I mean, nothing to do with the rhetoric that we're seeing coming out of Minnesota. According to DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin, sanctuary politicians have created an environment that demonizes law enforcement and encourages rampant assaults. Governor Tim Walz, he called ICE Trump's modern-day Gestapo. Hakeem Jeffries, the leader of the Democrats, he told people to fight Trump's agenda in the streets. And Mayor Fry, he told ICE to get the F out of Minneapolis. And then we act surprised when people start ramming their cars into federal agents at a rate 32 times higher than last year. I mean, come on. But here's my favorite part. Dave Matthews, who's worth an estimated $300 million, well, he's lecturing us about compassion while living in one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in Seattle. A city, by the way, where according to federal data, thousands entered the country illegally and are now being targeted for removal due to their criminal records, including gang activity and violent offenses. So it's really easy for Dave Matthews to make all these compassionate statements when he's not living next door to gang members in Tren de Aragua. Nobody wants to see anybody get shot, but according to multiple verified videos and the federal statements, the agent was being threatened with a vehicle, which according to law enforcement experts is considered a deadly weapon. He made the split-second decision while people were literally using cars as weapons against federal officers at a rate that we've never seen before. So what's the good news in this? Well, according to most recent polling data, Americans understand what's actually happening. They see through this celebrity virtue signaling, and they understand that enforcing immigration law is protecting communities from those who were convicted of serious crimes, like gang violence and human trafficking. That's not terrorizing anybody, that's called the rule of law. ICE agents aren't masked thugs. According to federal records, they're arresting people with documented convictions for violent crimes, gang activity, and again, human trafficking. They're protecting American communities, and yeah, that's extremely dangerous work, especially when assaults against them have increased by over 1,000% in a single year. These Americans are doing their job, and they deserve our support, not F-bombs from some millionaire rock star who lives behind gates in the safest neighborhoods that money can buy. So Dave Matthews, enjoy your birthday. Enjoy your Seattle mansion. Enjoy your next sold-out tour even. But maybe, just maybe, listen to the ICE agents getting hammered in the face with coffee cups and having cars weaponized against them before you call them monsters. Real Americans that buy your tickets, Dave, they get it. And we're not buying what Hollywood's selling anymore. So if you think ICE agents deserve our support, hit that like button and drop a comment down below. Should politicians who encourage attacks on law enforcement, should they be held accountable? Let me know. Because the truth and the facts, well, guess what? They matter a heck of a lot more than a tantrum from Dave Matthews.
We won!
Okay, let's go.
We won!